Good afternoon, it's Club Call. John and myself here to take, hopefully, your calls. It's been a good week. Last week it was less good, felt negative. This week it's positive. And so there should be lots of positive things to talk about, I'd like to think. So make sure you give us a call. If you are a Toffee TV Premium member or a YouTube member, then the link is there. Is the link there?
Yeah.
The link is there. I want to see if anyone can beat Fletch. I want to see if that's possible.
Well, beat first, you mean?
Yeah. I want to see if anyone can beat Fletch. Get on there first, ahead of Fletch.
James can fiddle it just by picking someone else first.
He can, but
I respect the integrity.
I want it to be a foot race, yeah. I want it to be a proper foot race. I want someone to get in there first. Don't forget, if you're giving us a call, try to have headphones and try to be on the Wi-Fi. Otherwise, we end up with situations like we did with Fletch last week, where
what happened?
No, he just couldn't. He was hearing me twice and was blaming me.
Oh right.
So he put down the phone and called back, which is what we want. So
Fletch can play Jeopardy, can't he? Because if he's out there, he can decide when he presses the button. You know.
Oh, it's in Fletcher's hands, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it's in Fletcher's hands. Other people might feel good. He could make someone feel better about themselves by delaying his call.
That's what.
And then someone would be like, "I got in there first because I beat Fletch."
Can everyone see how many people are in the queue?
No.
No.
Okay. So when people say, I know there's people waiting, that's just an assumption.
James, you might be able to see in the messages, mightn't he, James?
You can ask me and I do tell them.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
There's not a physical ring. I will say, though, we've got a caller and it's not Fletch.
Go, go, go.
Okay.
Can you guess who it is, though? It's another big caller.
Is it Alex or Annabelle?
Oh. It's Eddie.
I was going to say Eddie from Texas.
Yeah. Eddie from Texas is straight in. Well, let's get Eddie on then. Why delay the matter?
We need to keep track of who has the most first calls. Yeah.
Right.
Have a league table.
Let's get him on.
You should be able to hear him. He's not talking.
I can't hear him.
I can't hear out.
There's no one coming through. Eddie, you're not coming through. Have you muted yourself? The chat's very quiet as well. What's going on? I'm very suspicious of people. The chat's very quiet, and Eddie's very quiet.
He's just left him.
Has he just let? Oh, Eddie. Did Eddie just jump in to say he was the first one and
His
not,
bottle's gone,
and then
hasn't it?
actually not be the first
His
one?
bottle's gone, hasn't it?
He's lost it. He's lost it. He's lost that ability. There's been links this week, John, with Ivan Toney.
Yeah. Apparently. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the potential of bringing Ivan Toney to Everton Football Club?
Oh. Is that Eddie talking?
Do you want to go to Eddie or do you want to?
Yeah, so let's go to Eddie
Go
first.
on, go to Eddie then, yeah. We
'Cause he is
always
there.
on callers first.
Yeah.
Okay, you should be there now.
All right, can you hear me?
Yes, go on, Eddie. What do you want to say?
Hi, mate.
How are you guys doing? First of all, I think it's been
We're
a couple
all
of
right.
weeks since the last time I called.
Yeah, we've missed you.
We have. We wonder where you are when you don't call.
He only rings up when I'm here.
We long for you to give us a call and tell us what's going on.
I have a bunch of I have side quests I have to do every day, so things change pretty
Yeah.
often here.
You're a
over
busy
here.
man. You're a busy man.
Yeah, it's also the time, I'm like on my lunch break technically, so that's why I can call.
Yeah.
But diving into Everton talk, I was thinking like in the Premier call earlier this morning about Richarlison or Toney, and I thought that was a really interesting debate. But I think it just has to be Richie. Like he's our guy. Like I think Toney might be a better player, and I don't know if he's a better player actually. He can stay fit. That's for sure. The issue that we have with Richarlison. But I mean, I would take Richie back on loan. I did see rumors earlier today that we might go in for Miles Lewis-Skelly on loan. And I think that's also a really interesting shout, just because he can play left back or center mid.
Yeah.
But realistically, I think a striker is more important in this window. If we can get one, a striker and a right back are like the two positions. I don't know. James Garner's doing pretty well. If we keep him there, we actually, I guess that's my question for y'all. Would you would you do get a right back in January, or would you just stick with James Garner there and like I don't know, like do like the Philip Lahm treatment but in reverse?
I would only bring a right back in if he was a permanent right back or it was a very, very, very good loan signing. I don't know if I would just bring a right back in who just to fill up the numbers. What do you think, John?
We talked about this at 1 o'clock, I think, and I mused about whether we would look to bring 2 fullbacks in, right? And I think where we settled was if we only brought 1, it seems possible that it would be a left back rather than a right back because Garner can do that job.
Yeah.
And we, when everyone's available sort of thing and everyone's up to speed, the manager would have midfield decisions to make and yet I'd have no decisions for fullback, would he?
Yeah.
And I think we do suffer in the lack of progressive stuff from Mikalenko.
Yeah.
And if someone can double up, and I've seen the rumours, I think Arsenal and what have you basically said if you need minutes, you need to go out on loan, sort of thing. So yes, I can see us bringing a full-back in, and I would suggest that might be a left-back, right? But the striker one is the one. And on the Toney Richarlison thing, again, when we talked about it at lunchtime, we came down, well, I certainly came down on, I'd rather have Richie. Baz ducked and dived a little bit when I said how many non-penalty goals would Toney get, and like a striker himself, he said I don't care. It's how many goals he gets, no matter how they come. But we also talked about how Toney would be a better role model for Barry.
Yeah.
Would he though? Didn't he have betting issues? Like I don't know.
We're only talking
Eddie,
about.
you sounded like you were just ready to pounce then.
We're
You
only
were like waiting for that to come
Eddie,
up.
you little shitbag. Get back in your seat. Yeah. We're only talking from a sporting perspective, right? But yeah, I think as a centre forward with an all-round ability, then he could be something David could point at and say, "That's what I want you to do," sort of thing. But of course, Tony's got challenges. It depends, how much he's prepared to take a cut in pay.
Well, he definitely looks like he is leaving. For the loan anyway.
Because he's had the Tuchel thing, which fundamentally says if you want to play, you've got to be in this league, sort of thing. It's not
Tuchel doesn't really have like a set idea of what he's trying to do by the sounds of it. First it was Champions League, and they're like Jordan Pickford can't be your goalkeeper because he doesn't play in the Champions League, and then like he backtracked it on that when he realized everyone else wasn't very good or is on the bench. So
no, you're right, Eddie, because he said that sort of before he was the manager, or soon after, didn't he? He said, "What I want is people playing at the elite level, and therefore, if you're not playing in Champions League, you're not going to be in my team." And then realised his first choice goalkeeper, who's so far ahead of everyone else, is not playing in the Champions League.
And actually, his first choice centre back now plays in the Conference League, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Gooey's like the number 1 centre back now.
Yeah, I think you're right. So there's lots of things to be done there and around Toney, not just taking less pay in this country because he's allegedly on 900 grand a week or something stupid in Saudi, but of course he'll have big tax liabilities as well if he comes back. That said, he wants to play in the World Cup, and the manager has said, "I ain't going to pick you if you're in Saudi Arabia." So there's a story he can do with his current club, because of course if he did get to the World Cup, he would be their player at the World Cup. So there's some kudos in that for them. But my own view, by the way, as a player, I don't care whether he's playing in England or not. I don't think he's going to get a World Cup pick.
No, but he's got to try, hasn't he?
But he's got to try. So he's got to try, and if there's a number of London clubs interested in him, then it seems likely he will go to one of those. But, again, we talked earlier on, we should be the most attractive because he would probably become the starter for us, wouldn't he?
I think he'd become the starter at Spurs, though, as well.
Do you reckon? He was Solanke back?
I just... How can you trust Solanke?
Finished. Yeah.
How can you trust... I just don't know how you can trust a player like that.
And then you got the manager advantage at Spurs, isn't it?
I think the knock-on effect could be Ivan Toney goes to Spurs and we get Richarlison.
Well, that's where we got to.
Yeah, and I think that could definitely happen.
Yeah,
I was listening
because Richie would go so far down the pecking order.
I think Richie just wants to be happy, and I think just listening to I was listening yesterday, Monday night. It was on the Monday Night Club on BBC Radio 5, and he was talking about the Brazil squad, and they had the thingy on, the English journalist on, who was talking about Richie, and they were saying Richie just destroyed his body in that last season for us. Played in 2 tournaments in the summer, and then played that season where for the last part of it he was injured, and he said he's never recovered, and he's only just getting back now. And he's like, Carlo loves him, but the Brazilian public are not necessarily too happy with him, and it could be just that Richarlison, if he really wants to play in the World Cup, has to be playing week in and week out for somebody
to demonstrate that he's fit and all that,
I think him as our number 9, it could be a potential. That could be that potential move, because I just don't think he's going to ever be Spurs' number 9. And if they go for Toney, which I imagine they will do, then I can't see why we wouldn't go for him, because I think, all right, take sentiment out of it. I just think maybe we've seen the goal on Saturday. He scored with a nice little cheeky goal, and he's still capable of putting performance in. And I also think his level will just rise a little bit, because I just think he just loves us as a football
fans, yeah.
But he cares about us, our football club.
It's his happy place, isn't it?
It is, and people might go, oh, you're being too sentimental, you should never go back, and all that kind of thing. I think sometimes you should go back. I think sometimes there's not enough sentimentality in football, and I think Richie's there's still something to do at Everton for Richie, I believe.
Yeah.
Whether that ever happens again, I think this is like the moment. This is like January is the moment. If it didn't happen in January,
it's not going to.
It's never going to happen. So, and then there's Xerxes as well. Xerxes, the other one.
I don't want Xerxes. No, like
okay.
He's like in terms of Ron. I think he's like Barry in the sense of like he's just tall. His hold up play is like okay, but he also can't score. So it's like Richie makes like scores a bunch of chances that like most people don't. Like he does a lot of weird like acrobatics in the box.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Richie would do the extra, I think, for us.
Yeah.
I don't get me wrong. I think he's dying to do that for Spurs. He's just not getting the opportunities, or he's been frustrated through injuries or whatever. So I could see that happening. The Toney to Everton could be, it's a bit of a long shot with everything that's gone on in the past as well. Yeah. He's had trouble. His family had trouble with Everton fans at the ground and stuff like that. There's a lot of things to get over. But then at the end of the day, footballers are footballers. They'll just go, oh yeah. It's a different time now. New stadium. They got a new manager. I want to play in the World Cup. So if we're the only team in town, then yeah, he might come to us. But I just think that pull of London might be a little bit too much.
I think so. And the curiosity, if he ends up staying where he is, because he just can't get a club that can do a deal that either he wants or more likely perhaps his parent club wants, it doesn't turn the opportunity off for Richie either.
No, I don't think it does.
Because I think with Solanke fit, notwithstanding he's a bit fragile, then he's further down the pecking order again, isn't he? As soon as Solanke's fit, then Richie doesn't play, does he? Yeah.
And I think Spurs will be looking to improve. Yeah, no matter what. I think they'll be looking to improve no matter what. And I think that might push Richie down. And with all those, it's a World Cup year as well. Richie, we all know how important playing for Brazil is for him. You've seen him when he's been, when the set squads have been announced and stuff. But the Brazilian public are very fickle, and obviously they believe they're the greatest country in the world for playing football, and they want the very best player playing up front for them, and Richie just isn't that player at the moment. When he was at us, he probably was that number 9. He was a foil for everyone else. Scored I forgot how good that goal was. He scored in the World Cup, the bicycle kick.
Yeah,
he wants that again. He wants that joy again, and he's what is he now? 28. So this could be his last chance at a World Cup as well. So yeah, it could be the deal that works its way in, depending on how everything falls.
What we talked about at lunchtime was, for a change, trying to, instead of, I know you didn't mean it this way, instead of saying that's a deal that works its way forward, and happens on the last day of January.
No, we want first.
Yeah, for sure.
Our first game in January, we want whoever it is to be in.
Yeah, we want it like when we brought Landon Donovan in. Yeah. We want it signed and sealed in the last week of December, and him coming in for the first game, and you get that whole, because we've got no Njai.
Exactly.
So we need to have players ready to go.
Absolutely right.
So that and the great thing about if it was Richarlison is because Richarlison could play wide right, and we could still have our centre forwards as well. And I think again, Moyes being pragmatic would love that other option as well as having like the likes of Dibbling or whatever. But having someone who's played wide right in the Premier League and knows how to play that position, he again, Richarlison would be perfect. Absolutely perfect.
Ticks a few boxes there.
Yeah.
Would you send Dibbling on loan at this point?
No, I wouldn't. No, I think he just needs to. I just think he needs dipping into the team. I think Moyes wants to keep an eye on him as well. I think he's not that far away. I just think he has to. He just has to get to the level that Moyes expects him to be at. I think that's all it is. I just think a loan is more like about getting opportunity. No, Asney will definitely go on loan.
I think Asney will go out.
But I think a loan for a player like him is not like... Don't forget, this is a lad who already played in the Premier League. I think this is more about showing the lad that the club he came from was literally garbage. And they didn't have any standards. And they proved they didn't have any standards by their relegation last season. What was it, 11 points? That proves that club had absolutely no standards. So who knows what was going on in training? Moyes, no matter what anyone thinks of Moyes on a match day, Monday to Friday, that fella has levels, absolute standards at the training ground. And if you're not matching them, Moyes has already showed. That Dwight McNeil sub last week was a big two fingers up to all those players going, this lad still trains. He knows he's halfway out the door. And he's still training hard. You're all not. So it's time you...
that was a very blunt instrument, I thought.
Yeah. I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But he done it.
But it was interesting, and I don't know you guys have seen it, but if you follow the simple chronology of post-match, he got asked, didn't he? And then he doubled down on it the next presser. And now he's saying the right things around. He's a young lad. He needs to be cuddled. We're being careful with him. We want to get him perfectly ready and all that sort of stuff. So hopefully that's someone in the club, presumably Kinnear or whoever, who said, come on, lad, let's do this behind closed doors. We'll spin something out there through the local rag, that it's, blah, blah, blah. But privately, he's still making it very clear to Dibbling what's expected.
Yeah. That's it. He's come from a club that it doesn't. You can say anything you want about Southampton, a lovely club, blah blah blah. A team that gets 11 points in the Premier League has no standards.
They have issues.
They have. They've got fundamental issues. And look at them this season. They've just sacked another manager. They have got issues at their football club, and that's maybe why the lad couldn't wait to get away from the place. So, yeah.
Last thing before I let y'all go.
Go on, mate.
James Rodriguez is a free agent from as of a couple days ago.
Yeah, this came up in the studio about an hour ago. And Baz and John were just like sort of talking about it, and like it was like, if you want somewhere to come and play for a very, very nominal wage, then maybe we'll take you for the rest of the season. I seen his pass, by the way, last week for the goal he scored. Oh my God, what a pass that was.
He's still talented. He's just...
Of course, he's never not going to be talented. He'll be talented for the rest of his life. He'll be able to open bottle tops with his left foot. But the problem is physically, does he have the demands of playing in the Premier League? And I would probably say no.
20-minute cameo sub. That's all we need him for, to score a goal. Like we still lack creativity, I feel. And
do you know what it is, right? I would love... You want to see a player that you feel has still got something to prove in him. It's like the thing that got away, but I just don't think he's capable. I think if he was capable, he wouldn't be playing in Mexico. And why is he leaving Mexico now? And well,
their season I think just ended. That's all.
Oh, has he? Yeah.
If he was a boxer, he's still got his punch pad.
Yeah. But he just
and I'm with Eddie, which is for 20-minute cameos or when you're in sticky spots and so on and so forth. But that all leads to the aforementioned very low basic salary, pay as you play type of thing. And we'll, if nothing else, mate, we'll get you fifth.
And a football club that knows how to market him.
Exactly.
I think we will do much better this time.
Too. So he's trying to stay in fitness. So I don't know. Like he might be more determined.
Hey, if he wants to come and train through the winter at Everton. If he wants a bit of that
and warm a bench every now and again,
and he wants to now maybe get on now and again, then fair play to him. But
that's all I think it is.
I don't think he's coming. He'll go for a nice little comfy 5 or 6 months at a little Spanish club where it's nice and warm and he can stay fit because it's warm. So
probably
be nice, be a lovely thing.
Enough,
but I think
fair enough.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Richarlison coming back is too far for some people. Hammers coming back would be just a little bit too far.
Just imagine the ticket sales though.
The ticket sales are fine, mate. Don't have to worry about the ticket sales.
The place is full.
We're always full.
Jersey sales. The jersey sales.
All right. We'd have to release a fourth.
You
kit
have
to
one
put his
right
name on the
behind
back.
you. You have one right behind you that says
I
Hammers.
know,
So.
well, I love the guy. This one even, I put it on yesterday, it even fits me. That's even more important.
Nice.
Yes.
Right,
nice
y'all.
one anyway, Ed.
Have a good
See you
one.
later.
Bye.
Nice one.
Take care.
Right, we've got Bunsey Boy, get him straight on, because I know he's been waiting. And then we'll have Annabelle with her dulcet tones. Go on, mate.
Oh, nice one.
Go on.
I was on a while ago.
Go on.
Just 2 points. They're not really footballing points, really, Ped. One of them
It's
is
all right.
I want to say a massive thanks to you because you've really inspired me. And I don't
This
want
could go anyway. This could go anywhere.
Listen, I don't want any sympathy of that, like. But I retired in March. I'm battling with leukemia, and I've just recently found out I got prostate cancer. Well, but I'm fine.
Oh,
There's
sorry
nothing
to hear
wrong.
that, mate.
Don't worry about it. No, I'm fine, honestly. Thanks to you guys. Like, you're really, really good for my mental health and that. But I seen you putting posts on of you running and that. And when I retired, I started to enjoy myself a bit too much with the food and the drink and that. And I thought, I've got to do something now. So I thought, I'll start running. And I put my name down for the Everton 10K.
Brilliant.
And I ran it, but I was in agony with it because I did the meniscus in my knee a couple of weeks before. And it was absolutely killing me. Funnily, you probably might not remember, but when you were half a mile away from the finish line, someone shouted "Ped," and it was me going past the other way, shouting to you. So
I remember a few people shouting at me that day. Not all positive.
The funny thing was, about 300 yards in front of you, there was a mum and dad pushing a little kid in the crowd was laughing. And I figured out this little newborn baby's beating the 10K.
I think I caught them. Don't worry, I caught them. And then
it was a great day, well organised.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Really good.
My second point really was
I
went to the rugby for the week, the Ashes, so I've got some kind of feedback from fans and that. We got the train from Widnes to Lime Street, and it was absolute bedlam. There were guys there who had tickets who were just getting Ubers and that down. They were packing us on like sardines, and it was a stopper as well. And we were just ramming them in on every stop. So it was absolutely mad. So anyway, we went up to Dale Street, the shit might at Excelsior, Denby and all of them. Had a few pints.
Decent bars, pubs,
And then we walked to the stadium. Now, my knee was knackered, but that day I walked over 21,000 steps.
Yeah.
It's not, I hear people saying things like, oh, you can get your steps in and all like that. But that's not going to be good in the winter when there's snow and ice and stuff like that for people.
No.
When the inside the stadium, everyone was raving about it. The Aussies, all the guys from Yorkshire and all like that. Brilliant stadium, brilliant view. PA system was fabulous. The big screens are great for replays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You could drink in your seats, which was absolutely brilliant. But there's downsides though, because they ran out of beer. Only a couple of those automatic filling machines were working. Ran out of food. And at the end, it was just like a mass exodus and everyone was complaining. I was trying to say to people, look, the dock wall's probably a listed building anyway, a listed structure anyway. So
it is.
You can only go out through the turrets and that. But this is one of the problems of being on like a riverside, is that you're only going out one way onto one road. So you get some going left down towards Sandhills and some going right back into town. It was an absolute nightmare, And I don't think you could do anything in the concourse there to keep people there because it was just absolutely rammed, with people. It's like 50,000 people just trying to, come out of one place, going through two little entrances and that.
Yeah.
So I'm just disgusted with the city, for not putting any kind of infrastructure in place, knowing that it's been built for years and that. Like, they're probably kicking a can down the road thinking, well, when Peel Holdings do all the redevelopments and that, they'll get it then. But the problem is that it might lose us some gigs in the future and that, like, you know.
Yeah.
The concern is for the Euros and stuff like that, like, you know, getting people there and back. And I don't know what they're going to do, but that's a really sort of tricky side of it all. But it was a fabulous day. It was really, really good. There was so much going on in town because the other mob were playing at 8 o'clock, and I think they had the gladiators on as well at the M&S Arena. So it was absolute bedlam in town, and the trains and that, like, so. That's the, you know, it's a fabulous place, but they really need to get the infrastructure sorted out and the transport. So I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe rebuild the old overhead railway line or something. But there you go.
Cost them about £3 billion to do that now.
I know.
No,
if they move Sandals, if they move Sandals down, I mean, there isn't even a ticket machine at Sandals, because when I did the tour the other month, I thought I'll jump the train because I've got a lift in. Me cousin is the service manager in Liverpool Audi, so it's just up the road, you see.
Yeah.
So he brought me in and for the run as well, and I thought I'll get the train home, but if you haven't got a ticket, you get done, and you can't get a physical ticket. You can't get an e-ticket on for some reason, because it was a changer for me. I'd have to change through South Parkway.
Yeah.
I couldn't get an e-ticket, and I couldn't print a physical ticket off. So it's just
this. I know. Listen, my sympathy. This is a big bugbear of mine, and I know that the fans forum the Fab are onto them at the moment. This ground's been built for nearly 12 months now, you know, and we got told by the mayor what he said, that it wasn't sure till this time last year that it was going to be built, even though it was built, because he said the ownership. What worries me is, I said this yesterday on a show, is what terrifies me is railway station. I worked on the railway for 6 years, and honestly, the railway is it's like Lego and Meccano, all of it. It's like it all needs ripping up, and it needs, like, all these countries have got all this brilliant trains. It's because their infrastructure's got blew up during the Second World Wars, and ours didn't. But ours, if you look at ours, it's like it should be in the Second World War. Some of the sites I've seen on that railway, I've been into the bowels of James Street. Oh my God, no person should ever go down there. It is horrible. But the Sand Hills, if you look at it as a station, there's a brilliant piece of land opposite the Titanic Hotel, and they could build a railway station and a bus terminus there. But the problem is the track is only one piece of track, not two, and it's only when it gets to Sand Hills does the track split in half. So they're really, really stuck in terms of there's nowhere else for that train station unless they build a new bridge. And it would cost a fortune. But where are the plans to do anything? This is the real worry, isn't it? And you're right. My niece and my brother-in-law got stuck at Sand Hills the other day, and I offered to pick them up after the game, and they were halfway in the queue, and they couldn't go out, and they were still in the queue, but they couldn't get out of the queue, even if they wanted to, for me to pick them up, because there was just no way of going back out the queue. The whole thing's a mess, and no one seems to have an answer, and this is what's really worrying. I've already got my dad, basically. My dad looks like he's going to knock her in the head, because it's just so difficult to get from... Yeah. My dad lives not far from South Parkway Station, so it's not that far on a normal day, but on a match day, it can take an hour and a half for him to get home. So imagine that game.
That walk from Sandals, isn't just round the corner. You know, so you think about a 20-minute walk.
You think about that 8 o'clock kickoff just before Christmas. People are not going to be getting home till 11:30, 12 o'clock that day, and they're going to be on a train with people who've been out on the ale. And I know I would like to have seen the club show a bit more backbone, but that's just the way it is. The Premier League TV paid the money, but I'd love to just see someone come out and go, this is the solution, rather than the mayor go, we've got these new gliders. I mean, what? That's not a solution. That's just another piece of transport that we don't know what's happening with it. So,
so there's a couple of things.
If you look at, just let me just have another point. If you look at the history of that line anyway, Allerton was, they put South Parkway in for the link with Speak Airport and stuff like that. Yeah. So they were thinking ahead there about the increased sort of like people coming to and from the Speak Airport. Like, so what's the difference with the stadium that's going to bring a lot of money into the city? They must have took a fortune in the town that night,
Yeah. I don't. The problem is that there's no answer. They're not putting the answers out. Go on, John. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say it's. I mean, you talk about the local authority or the combined authority, right? Which fundamentally the city region mayor sits on top of that. The words combined, you have to be joined up.
Yeah.
Clearly, the infrastructure has to be joined up.
Yeah.
But clearly, either the service provider inside the stadium, for food and beverage or what have you, and or the promoter, which is the football, not the promoter, the stadium people, which is the club, with the promoter, which is the Football League, they presumably decided between them not to keep the bars open after the game and stuff like that. So you do get everybody going out together. Yeah. So that's the first thing.
Yeah.
I think it was a really good test, if you want to call it a test, and it didn't pass it, did it? Because the vast majority of people in the stadium probably hadn't been before.
Yeah.
Therefore, they all head to the first gate they see.
Yeah.
So all the learning points don't help what's happened, but they could help what happens in the future,
time,
right? But as far as physical infrastructure is concerned, which is lines and stuff like that, even if they made an announcement tomorrow, we're building a £1 billion station here, and we're spending a further $1 billion making it 2 lines for all the things that you know about, blah, 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 that's 5 years away.
It is.
So, Steve, I don't know what you're doing, mate, but because the heat's off, I hope that doesn't mean my work here is done. Because my fear, and go back to the 8 o'clock kickoff thing, and you wanted the club to show some balls type of thing. If the club didn't want that game to happen at that time on that day, then there's levers you can pull. Safety is one, right? And I'm going to talk about safety. As soon as you come out the gate, it's pitch dark.
Yeah. Oh,
you do not light a street with the lights from the Bramley Moor pub, right? And I'm an older bloke by age, but I'm not an older bloke, I hope, by fitness. Yeah. And I nearly turned my ankle over.
Yeah, it is really. And my missus in her role as her game too.
And the ladies too.
She's been in meetings and meetings and meetings about street lights, and they've put new ones in, but they're rubbish. Yeah. And they're every so many yards, and it doesn't give people confidence. I know. And
the ones right opposite Bramley Moor. The poles have been used for cameras. Yeah. So the poles are there for lights, but they've got cameras on instead.
And without being going down any sort of conspiracy theories, this would not have happened for our red neighbours. It just simply would not have happened. They would have put their foot down. They would have told the council how much money they put into this city by people coming into it, and it would have got fixed. It's as simple as that.
So does that mean you're blaming the club?
No. I'm saying the council don't know what they've got with us. We're as you've just mentioned there, concerts. Well, again, we don't know what the situation is. Concerts. Liverpool have already announced 2 concerts for next summer. We've announced none.
Foo Fighters, haven't they?
Yeah, they've got the Foo Fighters, and they've got somebody else, and they might be getting somebody else as well. So they've already got that. We've heard nothing about that. So we don't know where Everton are in the process. I don't know. I'm not blaming anyone for that. But if they do, Anfield still seems like a harder place to get to.
Of course it is.
From the city centre than our ground is, because we do have options. We can walk. There are buses. Loads of people always saying there's buses here, there's buses there. But the train is the first thing. It's the magnet, as you just said there. You get on a train coming in from Widnes, or you're coming in from Lime Street or whatever. You're going to just jump onto the next train. The train's always going to be the biggest magnet. It's what people feel like they're going to get to A to B without worrying. I'll be honest. Anytime I've been to any major city, I've got no issue jumping on trains. But the buses, I'll never jump on a bus, because you never know where they're going to go.
Yeah. The simple, and you call it absolutely right. If you're talking about a load of out-of-town people turning, use a concert as an example, but the Rugby League was a good test for that. Yeah. Bring them into Lime Street, stick them on the train, get off this train, 5-minute walk. Yeah. That's what whether it's winter, summer, whatever, that's great, isn't it? Yeah. Of course, you'll walk along the waterfront, or you'll walk through, in the middle of summer. So maybe concerts, in theory, will be easier. They'll be in daylight out and so on and so forth. But if we're licensed for concerts, which one assumes we are, or we will be, then this is going to cause issues.
It is.
And those issues will be writ large come the Euros. And it'll be the Football Association, England as a country, Everton as a host, stadium provider, who will all take the kick. And listen, stuff needs to have been done yesterday, not tomorrow. So sorry, mate.
I would have thought it was on UEFA's radar at the minute. Look at some of these and saying because it's the same complaints no matter whether it's a football match or it's a rugby match or that, they can't handle the volume. When we did the 10K run, that was great. People were coming in from the city, from walking down from Sandhills, coming down in the car and parking up. But there was only was it 10,000 did that? I think it was something like that. It was less than 10. It was about 10,000. It was great turnout, and it was dead busy. But you can handle that. But 50 odd coming out there, you couldn't try and keep them in the concourse.
Well, that's where something I do. That's something I just slightly disagree with you with. I think Everton have been really poor. I will say that. I think they've been really poor on the inside the ground stuff. Me and Baz had the chat about it. I'm on the upper, he's on the lower. He's got nowhere to go after the game. I've got a bar where I can go, and I do go. I think Everton have been really, really poor at getting it out, what you can do after the game. I know it's not going to be 50,000 people, but if you can stagger it, I think if you can stagger it, if you can tell people that a certain bar is going to be open till a certain time and you can stay after the game and you do put on special offers for people to stay behind the game, I think that would be a start to stagger people leaving the grounds. The rugby game, and I've talked to people, and John was there as well, the bars weren't open because there was, like you said, there was simply nothing left to offer people.
That's not why they weren't open.
Is that what well, that's what I
never intended to open them.
Fair enough. Well, then that's poor as well. Then
of course
that's poor as well. Everton have to do better.
That wasn't Everton. I guess that's the service provider in the RFL.
I was in the West stand on block 248, I think, on the corner of the South stand.
Yeah. Was
it South or the North?
Doesn't matter, mate.
Anyway, and when we came down into our concourse bit there, we had the food, and they were serving beers there as well, so we did have beer up to a point it ran out, but half time you couldn't. The queues for the toilets were about 100 yards long.
They're terrible. The queues for the toilets at the ground are I counted the toilets I went the other day. There's 11 toilets. 11 toilets and three cubicles in the one I go to, and so apparently so does everybody else in the ground goes to the same toilet. The toilets are ridiculous. I hope, and I think they're gonna get dealt with in the summer, and I don't know whether that'll have any kind of knock-on effect to anything else we're looking to do in the summer. But there are fundamental issues at this ground that will be addressed. And you're right, that was like a test event. But I think Everton have got to work harder keeping people in the ground after the game to stop any issues of overcrowding on the roads and getting out safely and even getting to the train station. I think Everton, if they can do their part, which is stay in the ground, have a drink, we're putting special deals on.
There's an issue, an opportunity here, because I think you're completely right there, right? But maybe that requires us to be a bit more assertive, because I think the bars closing, for example, was an RFL decision.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know why. Maybe, just maybe, it might have been some third-party influence about let's get all these people out of town before the 8 o'clock game starts and all those sorts of things. We did an article on our Substack on this, and I think you're going to put it in the link, aren't you? You might want to look at that. I think the internal to the wall challenges, let's be honest, they're getting fixed slowly, but they are getting fixed. So no doubt the things like the toilets or whatever it might be will get fixed whenever they get fixed.
Of course they will.
The outside the wall stuff, it's dark, the trains are crap, and so on. Now, if you know exactly where you're going, and I'm sure there's people out there watching this who go, I don't know what the issue is. I go out the right hole in the wall, I walk up to the station, I get on the train, and I'm home in 20 minutes. Yeah. But that isn't going to happen when you've got 50,000 people who are going for the first time. Yeah. Or they're all, the concert goers with women and children and all mixtures of ages and all that sort of stuff. So it needs to be sorted, and Steve has to get his finger out again. Right?
It doesn't seem to be a priority, though. That's what I don't understand. No. It doesn't seem to be on anyone's top of anyone's list to get sorted. It's like we've been left to just get on with it ourselves, and that's what I can't understand.
He's kicking a can down the road because he's looking at the whole of the development to that area that's going to come in the years and thinking that'll come eventually with all the funding that. They'll see a need for it. But Keir Starmer's been to that stadium, the Prime Minister, and he's a football fan. So, surely, I mean, I'm not being funny. The club have got some sort of blaming this because you're going to build a stadium where they built it. Surely one of the questions is going to be, how are we going to get people to and from the place? Like, considering that it's not like Goodison or any of them where you can go off in 4 directions from there. You can't do that where we are. You're just onto like Regent Road, aren't you? Like,
Yeah. No, so, I think though when you've got like a mayor like we've got, and they've got the devolved powers, it is on them, isn't it? They've got loads of power. You see with Andy Burnham, look at Andy Burnham.
Exactly,
Burnham, someone just mentioned again, Andy Burnham is talking about, all he does about Manchester is talk about transport every single day. We're bringing the buses back, they're doing new trams, they want an underground that's going to cost a fortune. He's always talking about it, and that's why he's like that. What makes me laugh is when I go down after the game, I'm standing next to Andy while he's after the game, he's standing there having a pint, and I've had a chat with him a couple of times, and you just think, my God, if you were our mayor, you would have got this sorted. And surely he's got to be onto his mate about it and say, listen, what are you doing about this? Because it's just not good enough.
When we used to go with the cricket and stuff like that at Old Trafford, the cricket ground there, it's easier to get to there than it is to get to our stadium with the transport and the trams and all that. You get on. They're so easy to use as well with your phone and stuff like that. There's no messing around. Like, you're on the trains, you're on the trams. It's just, it's so
Merseyrail as well as being Merseyrail's been a bit of a disaster. What you've been talking about before, for a while, they wouldn't, I don't know if they still do, they won't take tickets that are bought on phones either. I have no idea why. The rest of the world does it, and Merseyrail, for some reason, only accepts physical tickets, and you could actually be fined for not having a physical ticket. I don't know whether that's been changed. I know they've just brought in like the... I think they have just changed it, but it's just...
You've got scanners and that, like, but even
if just took so long.
Street, you've got to show them your e-ticket. But if you go through South Parkway, you can get through to the various platforms with scanning your e-ticket. But there's no ticket machine at Sandhills.
No.
So how, it's like you're in a catch-22. How would you get a ticket? You couldn't get fined because you haven't got a ticket. It's crazy.
Aye.
But I mean, I went to the match on Saturday, and he said he was at Sandhills for about well over an hour. Now I know they might have had some issues with some of the trains and stuff like that, but even that, you can't just say, we had a few broken down trains and that. You've got to put provision in for them.
And they've got new trains as well. They paid a fortune for these new trains, so they're all the trains are new. It's not old rolling stock. It's all new trains. So what are they doing to make it better? This is a lot, like you're saying there, Liverpool might be playing, Everton might be playing, there might be other things going on in the city. How are we going to grow as a city if we're not getting all this thing sorted? We've got Manchester down the road that they seem to have everything going the right way. They can have Man United games, City games, they've got 3 arenas, they've got all kinds going on, and they make it work. And we're tiny. We're tiny, and there's always seems to be little problems. I've never struggled in Manchester. When I got the train home, I got on the express one, and when we got on it, it said, because of the length of the train and the length of the platform at Widnes, move to the front carriages because you were only going up the doors, and then waited 5 minutes, train went, another announcement saying, this train is not stopping at Widnes now, you're going to have to get off at South Parkway and get the next train there. And I thought, how... You know what I mean? It's just, they honestly, they are garbage. They are. And you know what the worst thing is, just before I let you go, the worst thing is, they never ever, there's no thing of like, this is what, like I said before, this is the plan in the future. It's all, well, we never get any money. And it's like, come on, start using your heads and working out how you're going to do this. All you ever hear is the Northern Powerhouse. And it's like, what does that mean? What are you actually doing?
It means Manchester.
Well, what happened to all the HS2 money? That when you
what happened to all that? You're getting all the HS2 money.
Like, anyway, thanks very much, lads. All right,
get that off your chest. Keep the running going. See you later. Ta-da. Right, we've got Annabelle. Have we got Annabelle? Go on, get Annabelle on. She's been waiting ages. She'll calm us all down. Good evening, Annabelle.
Hello there.
How are you?
I'm magnificent, thank you.
I'm all right.
Very glad.
Nice to hear your calming voice.
Unless your name's Charlotte.
Hey, stop having beef with Charlotte.
I have no beef with Charlotte.
Hey,
you misrepresented me last week. Yeah, on yesterday.
Oh, did I?
Yes, because I've gone back and listened to precisely what I said.
Okay.
And I think you misunderstood my vernacular.
Yeah.
Annabelle, what you have to understand is Ped doesn't always remember what he said 10 seconds ago, never mind the day before. He's been called out for this before, live on the show by Charlotte and James, who cuts the stuff out, plays it back to him, and he still denies he said it.
Annabelle, when I say fish, Annabelle knows what I'm talking about.
I knew that you meant fishing because you just left the D off of it.
Exactly.
Yes, fine.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah.
Boiling my brain doesn't mean I was disgusted by Charlotte. It means that I was unable to comprehend. It's beyond my comprehension. It's not in my ability to get my head around it.
I tell you what, I've never heard you stumble over words like you did in that sentence.
I have to say,
because I'm trying to make sure that I say what I mean. Because you said I was very harsh, and I don't think that I was very harsh. I have nothing but admiration for Charlotte.
Felt like beef.
But no, absolutely not. But
Annabelle, you know what,
Annabelle? I think you know me better than that to know that I'm not like that.
No.
As an impartial listener who have not heard what went on, I am taken by Annabelle struggling to explain her situation and her position. Right?
Does feel like.
I almost feel obliged now to go and listen to the show to see what it's all about.
But anyway, let's leave that in the past. Let's move on, Annabelle. Let's leave it there. That's not an issue.
Well, according to the comments, it is. But
no, the comments are full of people who just want to see
reaction.
They just want to see internet fights. No, the worst one for that.
The
worst one. That Emma, she just wants murder with everyone. She just wants to see people fight. She wants to see the world burn. She's like Toffee TV's Joker. She just wants to see the world burn.
What's that? The Toffee TV universe.
That's it. She just wants to see everything burn. I don't know whether it's a brutal thing or what, but...
But I would hope that people know me better than to think that I would be mean to a younger woman like that. As
absolutely
an older woman, it's about raising up our women, not knocking them down.
No, exactly.
And I believe that.
I believe that as well.
Anyway.
Go.
Meanwhile.
Another controversial topic, gloves. I have no problem with a player wearing gloves or tights or anything else if it helps keep their blood flow consistent, because it is important to make sure that your blood remains at a decent temperature so you don't get cramp. So I've got no problem with anyone wearing gloves or any of that nonsense that people have been complaining about lately.
Have people been complaining?
Someone did mention it today. I don't have a problem with people wearing gloves either. I think if
who wears gloves in our team?
No one. I don't even think it was our
Ganner
team.
wears his tights.
Yeah, he wears his tights. Yeah. Some of the team, but I agree. If a player feels comfortable, and that's what makes a player feel comfortable, then let them wear what they want. They can. Yeah, it was because a lot of this is because of the other fella last year. Oh, no snoods and pull your socks up and all that. And it's like, what are you talking about? Yeah. If a footballer wants to wear gloves, let him wear gloves.
Totally agree.
Yes, because it's important that players are comfortable on the pitch. As someone who gets very cold hands, it's not nice. And if it helps keep your blood at a constant temperature and you're not using up excess energy, keeping the blood flow going, why not?
Spot on.
Yeah.
Whatever makes them comfortable so they perform better.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
The change to the Saturday night before Christmas.
Yeah.
Arsenal, yeah.
Oh, why can't the Premier League please start doing it where there are teams that are closer to one another, where the transport will be better? Why can't they think about the bigger picture?
Because they don't care.
Well, I know that.
They just don't care. The mad thing is, Annabelle...
Well, they don't care about us.
The mad thing is, this doesn't even affect us, does it? In terms of transport going far and wide, it will affect Arsenal. I imagine Arsenal put on some free buses or something because no one's getting a train. I ain't no one getting a hotel either.
They're not getting home, are they? And they're not getting into hotels.
Yeah, they're not getting into hotels that night. They just simply don't care. What I'd like to know is why a Carabao Cup game was put that week, or those Carabao Cup games that week, when there are Europa League games
because the Europa League games came after the Carabao Cup timetable.
But surely this timetable should all be factored in together.
Ahead of time, yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Crystal Palace play Thursday, Saturday night. So Leeds have got a fantastic opportunity to beat Palace, which for everybody else, that's like, well, hang on, why are they playing a team?
Sorry, have Arsenal had their game moved so that they don't play 2 games in 3 days, but Palace are playing 2 games in 3 days?
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah. So Palace, by the time they play Arsenal, will have played Thursday, Saturday, and then they play them on the 23rd. It's just nonsense. And we, as the fans, as the home fans, are the ones who are going to pay most of the price for this. And it's got nothing to do with us. It's nothing to do with us, is it? It's Arsenal and Crystal Palace. This has got nothing to do with us. And yet our games, it's weak by many people, I'd say. But it's Premier League, so.
But did Everton agree?
Well, clearly, yeah.
No, that's not the same as actually agreeing, is it? You can hold, consistent messaging, but I would have assumed that we would have made a sporting decision and said it's better for us to play them whenever. And if their concern was they were playing too many games close together, we say, yes, please, yeah, we quite like that.
No, I don't think there's any benefit for us at all. I don't think Arsenal...
No, moving it hasn't brought any benefit, has it?
No, it's only brought 24 hours further back. And because it was scheduled for TV, the only TV game available is 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. Which is, again, it's like, why don't you just say it's not going to be on TV and put it down as a 3 o'clock game then instead? It's just football fans are secondary, and all these problems we're talking about getting to the... Listen, don't get me wrong, loads of people are going to be very, very happy with playing at 8 o'clock on Saturday night before Christmas. Loads of people will be made up. They'll go to the game, have a few drinks, they might go out afterwards, whatever. But for a lot of people, it's going to be really tough. It's going to be a struggle. It's Saturday before Christmas. There's an event on at the Echo Arena as well, which will come out around the same time.
But this was the kind of thing that we were told that the football regulator would do something about, because transport is a key part of getting to and from the game. And although, we all lived for the days where everyone lived close to the ground of the team that they supported, that's not the case anymore. I'm a case in point. I live very far away, not as far as many others, but it's difficult to get there. And when you are trying to get back, and the last train that you can get is at 9 o'clock at night, it's impossible to then go, and it's just ruining things for people who would be looking forward to that.
And a lot of people will have already booked their travel, because normally people book their travel the minute those fixtures come out. So if you've come over, people will be flying over from, say, Ireland. They'll have booked it for maybe Saturday night or Sunday morning. So they
and hotels.
And hotels. There's no way you're not getting a town now in Liverpool city centre on that Saturday night, because so many people will be out and staying in Liverpool.
The disappointing thing is usually the final... confirmation that you can go ahead and book is the TV picks.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, it's on telly. That's not going to get moved, is it? And it has. Yeah.
And that's the real issue with it. And getting home afterwards, as I said, people will struggle to get like a taxi or the Ubers. The Ubers at that time of night, the price will just be ridiculous.
Well, because it's demand based. Absolutely.
The charge on it. The Major L. I mean, if you got kids and you take your kids to the game, you're gonna maybe decide that game you're not gonna take your kids, because not only is it late, but by the time you do get on a train, you might be on a train by a bunch of in a train with loads of drunk people who mightn't be doing any harm. Don't get me wrong.
People.
Yes, drunk.
Happy.
But they might be going either out of town or into town.
Yeah.
And you don't want to expose your kids to that, because they might be like, oh, I'm a bit frightened by that or whatever. People aren't going to be getting home till like 11, half 11. And it's like, that's going to put a lot of people off. People who are maybe, it's going to be cold, so people who are elderly might be, or a bit older might be like, I just can't be bothered with this.
And a lot of the games around Christmas are presents to people. And now
True, yeah.
it may well be impossible for people to go to them because it is that late, because it has been moved, because there won't be any transport there.
Well, a lot of people, I mean, we mentioned this yesterday, Emma, because she
Yes, her
thought the
poor
fixtures were
rota.
fixtures, she'd already done a rota. So she'd already done her own rota. So what, again, people who work nights,
So
there's
no shift swaps.
there's
and all
no
sorts of
way.
things,
Yeah. Do you want to do my night? No, thanks, mate. I'm all right. Also, another thing is, a lot of people like who work in the NHS, they have to put their holidays in for Christmas, and may have gone, oh, I'll work that day, but I won't work that day. This again throws a spanner in the works. It's like there's so much to deal with and cope with anyway, and then people go,
A lot of care workers have to do their rotas in August for December.
Yeah.
It's it's again, as a, you know, lots of people might go, oh, I'm made up at this. I think the fundamental thing is you've got to take a step back. It's like everything. It's like this game mightn't affect you, but another game might affect you. There might be another case where this happens where it does affect you. You know,
Yes.
I know people who had, you know, they were planning on going on to gigs that night or whatever, and now they've got to make a decision what they're going to do, and it could happen that it happens somewhere down the road where it does affect you. It's just, as you said, I don't know about the regulator. I don't know whether this is within their powers. I don't know whether it's too soon. I don't know.
It shouldn't be in the powers.
No, it should.
The regulator's regulating the industry.
Yeah.
Right? Now, unless the regulator says something like, you must, I don't know, confirm all games 90 days before they actually happen. With only exceptional circumstances can you change them. But the independent regulator for football, who's got his own issues at the moment anyway, right? Or the people he sponsors have. He's about regulating the industry, not about whether the game's at 8 o'clock on a Saturday or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But that, notwithstanding that, until fans get properly organised, and they bring real pressure to bear on those stakeholders, the league, the broadcasters, and so on, then it'll just keep happening.
I just think. Go on, Annabelle. Go on.
It's something I've mentioned before. I think fans need to start putting away tribalism and getting together, join the FSA, be part of a movement together, and fans need to get together. This shouldn't be this is my team and it doesn't matter because my team doesn't get this. We should all be looking at what affects all of us, because as Ped's rightly said, it may not be your game, but it might be a game 10 games down the road or even next season. But we were told that the regulator would look at things that affected fans and their ability to get to games, and that includes transport. Well, transport is a government issue.
Well, you're right, and this goes back to what we've just been talking about. What we've just been talking about before about having a structure in place coming from the mayor. It's just not there. You know, someone just mentioned there maybe they'll put later trains on. Well, you can't put later trains on, because to put later trains on, you'd have to change the working conditions of the drivers, and that's just a completely different thing. That would take that we've seen London Underground. They've gone on strike over that years ago because they wanted to bring in 24-hour trains. That's working. That's a complete. If you ask the driver to suddenly say, "Oh, you're working," oh no, they're not going to do that. That's just simply not going to happen. There's so much that's going on, and it's moving quicker than people can keep up with. Like, you know, someone else just mentioned there, Mark, the last train out of Lime Street, like probably to lots of places, is like 10:30. So how would you get from the stadium onto Sandhills to Lime Street?
And that's for local travellers. Yeah. And as Annabelle said, for, say, Arsenal fans, they probably have to leave before the game started to get home. You know, to get back to London. Maybe 9 o'clock at the absolute latest type of thing. You know, it's mad.
It's just the whole thing's just a farce, and I think, as we're saying there, it's just I say it every year, Annabelle, when the cup final comes around, when the two teams complain about the tickets and no one else seems to bat an eyelid, and then next year another two teams do it, and then the next, instead of all of football standing up going, we're not having this anymore. We want the same time and the same allocation every single year, and we need to nail this. But we don't.
And the finalists get the majority of the tickets.
Yeah.
We should all be caring about how much an away ticket costs. We should all be caring about how the structures around the game work. We should all be caring about what happens to important games like cup finals and semi-finals, because one day it will affect us. And just caring when it does affect you doesn't work. We all have to get together, put aside the tribalism, and start working together. And like I said, that's why I recommend that people join the FSA, because we need to be together as football fans.
Well, that's what got the away tickets. That's what got the £30 away tickets. Yeah, that's a message. That's a message for life, Annabelle. Never mind just football. But that's how the £30 away tickets came about. Are you a
member of the FSA?
I am a member of the FSA.
So am I.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Beyond the.
As am I.
Yeah, beyond the campaign, which is 20 is plenty, which turned out to be 30, which was clearly much better than it would have been without it. I don't know what else has been done.
No, I don't.
And I've been a member of the FSA for quite a long time.
I don't.
Therefore, our representation needs to be sharper and more proactive. I suppose or better communicating.
They'd probably say the stopping of the Super League was probably in their remit as well. They helped organise. I don't know whether that's true. I don't know whether that's true.
I think we need to have real caution around having a fan representative group, which is funded by the Premier League, ultimately, right?
What? Yeah.
Yeah, the FSA, and understanding how it delivers better outcomes for fans. But the best way to address that, and Annabelle's nailed it, is if every single football fan, just say every single season ticket holder, every single Premier League club, join the FSA tomorrow, it'd be on the news tomorrow night. You know what I mean? Because that's a huge number of people. And the more people you have in the pool of commitment, the better the officers will be, the more powerful they can be, because they've got a mandate from whatever the number is. I don't even know how many FSA members there are. I'll have a check in a minute. But if it was 10 times bigger, they'd listen.
I think one thing that would help is when the TV fixture changes come in, that should be it. That should be the line that gets drawn. No matter what, after that, they're done. They're in stone and they're done, because
it should be 90 days beforehand.
It should be. And there's so many. Do you know what? They're not even looking at so many factors, like local factors either, which you need to like that. People might go, "Oh, it's the Saturday before Christmas," but anyone who's ever been on a Christmas night out, say just before Christmas, lots of people tend to get like the last train home. Or stay out to the last train. So those trains are going to be bedlam, absolute bedlam. So if anyone thinks like they're just going to like get on the train, get a little nice seat, it's going to be chaotic. By the time it gets to Sandhills going into town, it's going to be chaotic. And then when anything coming out of town...
Mercy help anybody who has any mobility issues.
Yeah, exactly.
Or sensory issues, because I tell you, that is going to be impossible to get onto one of those safely and happily.
Yeah. Yes, it all needs to be ripped up and sorted. And it all falls into the same thing of travel, basically. Getting good travel to our ground. It's all the same thing. And until somebody gets hold of this. And you know what? I tell you right now, then if I'm the guy who wants to be the next mayor to take Rotherham's job off him, that's what I'd be campaigning under. Yeah. That's
Absolutely.
What I would be campaigning. I'd be campaigning to get better transfer for Hill Dickinson and for Anfield. I would be banging the drum for that. And I tell you what, because with a lot of stuff at the moment is like one issue sort of politics. That's the thing. I'd be banging the drum. I will improve this. I will improve the transport.
The Labour Party decide who the next Liverpool City regional mayor is, because whoever gets that mandate gets the job. So you can't even campaign against the man, because the monster that is the Labour Party.
No, I think
it's a political appointment.
That might be starting to change, though. Yeah, with everything going on, that might be starting to change. It does seem like. But if I'm the outsider, I'm
with you. Sorry, I'm with you. By the way,
I'm campaigning for that one thing, and I am reading up on everything, because the last fella, the lad who I think he was from the Lib Dems, Cashman, I think he is. And I think it was he started going on, and like he followed me on Twitter, because obviously I was being a bit vocal about it.
That's not like you.
And he went on Radio Merseyside, and rather than schooled them. He schooled them on it. And it was terrible because the lad just hadn't done the basic reading up on it. And I think if you got an experienced sort of politician, they would walk into that role because people are so annoyed about lots of things. But if you said to football fans, we'll sort the travel out for you, I think
you get all their vote.
You get a lot of the
if
vote.
If there was a vote, yeah. By the way, this really, really surprised me because I've checked. The FSA's got 500,000 members.
Yeah, brilliant.
That's a really good number, but that suggests to me it's not leveraging that as best it could.
Yeah.
I also suspect that it's a lot of lower league members.
You're quite right.
Other Premier League. Because I think a lot of Premier League fans don't join such organisations.
I think you're probably right, Annabelle, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but
it is a shame because
go on, Annabelle.
There's 500,000 in 10 stadiums every Premier League weekend, isn't there?
Yes. One quick other thing. Isn't it nice to go into an international break feeling so positive? But can we please teach people what an offside is?
Yes.
I don't know. Who are these people you want teaching?
Referees.
Well, I would send a lot of the referees back to school, but that's...
Which one are you referring to, Annabelle?
What, referees?
No, offside.
Well, it's a more general point because it's
just
not it's not just, it wasn't just this weekend that we had a problem, was it? Offside goals ruled offside has been a consistent problem for us last season and this season.
Well, I think,
and given that our goals are few and far between, we really need to make this precious resource actually count.
So are you talking about teaching our players not to be offside or referees not to be offside?
As I said, referees, I think there needs to be a lot more training. However, players, I think, need drilling on what the interpretation for this season is. Yeah.
Don't be offside, score goals.
I think, just on that particular subject, Ndai was perfectly schooled on what he could and couldn't do to disrupt the keeper. And then a subjective decision went against us anyway.
Yeah.
And I think Annabelle's right. There's the subjective bit that's left in offside is just that. The breadth of the subjectivity is too big. Yeah. So they need to narrow it down.
I'll be honest with you.
So that we in the ground, when they say that was offside, we all go, yeah, you're right.
All three of ours on Saturday, they were all given by the linesman. And I was like, fine. Because all three of them were offside on Saturday. And me and Baz...
It's debatable.
Me and Baz disagree over Barry. But I believe Barry was offside because he motioned towards the ball. And he therefore forced the player to kick it.
And that's where the interpretation of the law does come in. Because the interpretation, like with Tarkowski, says if you move towards the ball or move towards the infringement, you are in violation of the law.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So...
But it's difficult. Football has gone mad.
Anyway, I've taken up far too much of your time.
Thank you, Annabelle.
That was really good.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you.
Take
Pleasure
care,
as always.
Take care.
There you go. Are we all called out, are we? Fair enough.
Rob was here, but he left.
Rob, come back, mate.
Come back, Rob.
Come back, Rob. We'll give you.
You get the final word.
He sent a message saying he's got to go, to be fair.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. We're sorry about that, mate.
Yeah.
People just like to talk. People just like to talk about. They just come on, and that's fine. Whatever. What?
Come on.
They just come on. We don't even know where they come from. They just seem to come on. They just want to. Do you want to hear me say half words? That's what it is.
You said a piece of fish.
I know what I said. But it was slightly different from what I meant. And you were within your rights, but to pull me up on it.
Yeah, but at the time when I pulled you up on it,
I've just literally said, yeah. But I was like, I didn't realise. And then Annabelle was like, yeah, I can see what you were saying because that's just the way you talk. And I explained that. I didn't say you were wrong. I'm just saying.
For me, the entertaining part of that show wasn't that you misspoke.
Yeah.
It was that you denied that you'd misspoke.
No, because in my head,
I know. I heard the explanation.
So it's still not his fault.
I've said, but no, this is like a medical condition. I've told you this. It's the same when I read things. When I read things, I don't always see what is on the page. My mind makes things up. Honestly, I'm not even kidding. It's definitely a form of dyslexia.
Can you believe Fletch didn't ring up today?
Oh, where is he?
I'm worried.
Are we maybe his mum made him sit down for his tea.
That's what James Graham just said.
Yeah, I think so. No Fletch, no party. That's what I'm saying.
Should we stick around till he comes back?
Well, we'll stick around
he's
for a little bit,
finished his
yeah. People are just arguing over what time the last train is now. Most of the trains out of Liverpool, the last trains are generally about 11:30.
Not to London, they're not.
No, not from London, they're not. Chester, I think, is 11:15 because it takes an hour to get to Chester. So it's about, and it depends when the stock has to come back as well. But what I would say is, yeah, James, yeah, the calendar has fishing equipment in it. It does have fishing equipment in it. Emma, you're not getting the blame for anything. Also, Emma, I heard a story about Bootle today, and I thought it'd be quite good to bring it on for you and James.
Why is he from Bootle?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. So apparently, they're ripping the stand down.
Making a bet, don't they?
But the people who are ripping the stand down, there's a tower above it, and people keep on throwing stuff.
Which stand is this?
The Strand.
Oh, the Strand.
Strand.
Bootle. Yeah, okay.
So people keep on...
Carlo will be distraught.
In this tower, keep on throwing stuff at the people trying to rip the Strand down. And I thought that's so Bootle.
Like a protest or just kids being bored?
I don't know.
Oh.
But I thought, isn't that just so Bootle? Yeah. They're ripping something. Are they throwing stuff at them because they're ripping the Strand down, which is an absolute dump and needs stripped, but taken down?
Hey mate, put that in your skip.
But they're throwing. No, but apparently it's stuff that if it hit them, it could kill them. So, I just thought of you and Emma straight away. Huh? I just thought it's like the Bootle news of the day. Maybe that's a segment we could have. Bootle news brought to you by James and Emma. I don't know. I overthink things sometimes. GC says the last train to Chester's 11:15. Who knew?
What's the last train to London? 8:15.
No, it's later because I've got one later.
Have you?
Yeah. Because the day Carlo said he was leaving, I had to be in London for the next day and I stayed in the hotel. And I think I was on 9 o'clock train, but it takes 3 hours to get there. And I got there at 12. And when I got there at 12, I was told that the shoot the next day was cancelled. And I was like, well, I'm going to my hotel and you're paying me for tomorrow. And I'll just have a little mooch around London and go home. And I did. And it was all good. James Graham says a dirty protest. I don't think it's a dirty protest. No one wants a dirty protest in Bootle. Yeah. GC midnight. What's midnight at the Chester train? You're all obsessed with getting the train to Chester. I don't know what the issue is. There are trains to other places. There
are trains and other places. No,
there are trains to other places, yeah. Yeah. James, you look bored.
I'm not bored.
You look bored. Are we just waiting for someone to call? Are we waiting for
2 minutes?
Are we waiting to get the call from Fletch to see if someone comes? If he comes to save us?
I don't know, maybe he's busy this week. I feel like...
Yeah, I don't think Fletch is ever busy.
You never know. He's in uni, isn't he?
Is he? He's 28.
He's in uni.
He's 28 years of age.
Tell us about it 1 week.
Behave yourself. Uni.
So you
can still be in uni. He's an old student. Don't diss him.
Do you think Fletch is a student?
Yeah.
What do you think he's studying?
Didn't he say he was studying like politics or something?
Oh, he did, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's, yeah, fair play. That's all, that explains all the long words. That explains all. And so he's in uni studying politics, and his mum shouting him for his tea. I like it. It's interesting. That's very, very.
Probably shouts him in the morning saying, "How do you like your eggs? Fried or boiled?" Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, if we've got no more callers, we'll go.
So if you wanted to do a journey to that there London,
go on
tomorrow.
Yeah.
From Lime Street, and you wanted to arrive in under 9 hours.
Yeah.
10 to 9.
Okay, that gets in at half 12.
5 to 12.
5 to 12, yeah.
But there's a train at 9:30, but it doesn't get there till 7:30 the following morning, and you go via Birmingham, that looks of it. So, in other words, you spend a long time on a platform. It's not.
I don't like the way they do that on trip where you go, oh, there's one, but you have to wait one change. You see the change, and it's like you'll get there at 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
like,
you'll be on the cruise station or somewhere, Birmingham station for 6 or 7 hours or something.
Yeah, I like the way they do that. Yeah. But
cool.
So there you go. Yeah. So 9 o'clock is the last one to London. So I imagine Arsenal will probably say we'll put 3 coaches on because it's Christmas. We've arranged because Arsenal fans aren't getting back any other way. So, yeah.
What I saw on social media was Arsenal fans fundamentally slagging off Arteta as being the voice of the person who wanted it moving. Because they obviously aren't going to be very happy with it.
Why couldn't he have moved it till March when we've got in Jai back?
Well, that's what I thought, yeah.
That would have been better.
Because March was the other option, wasn't it?
Yeah. Anyway. Right, we're going.
Thank you, people.
See you all tomorrow. Bye.